Assalamu alaikum viewers, myself Asma Educationwali. I'm from Islamabad. Today I have a privilege of introducing a very interesting guest, are truly dedicated and with a remarkable story. And today I have honor to interview Mr. James. Mr. James, first of all, thank you so much for giving me time, your precious time. Can you please introduce yourself for my audience?
Sure. My name is James Saunders. I am 66 years old. I live in the United States in Nevada. I've lived here since January 2020. I am married for the fourth time. I've had four wives. This is my last wife. I'm done. So um, we got married on her birthday, which was fortuitous of me to do that. I have four adult children ranging in age from 25 to 42. Um, I have a side business which deals with like 1,200 products. One of the products I have to deal with is called CBD. It deals with inflammation and being able to sleep better and stuff like that. Um, I moved to Nevada because I wanted to have a new life, and I have a new life.
Wow, you have married four times in your life. Can you please share your experience of marrying and what age was when you married first time?
The first time I got married, well, let me see. First of all, growing up, I was never by myself. There were children, my brother and sister, there were children always around me. There were adults always around me. There was always somebody telling me what to do. So I became accustomed to that. I didn't like being alone. The first time I got married, I think I was 23. I got married at 23. Second time I got married, I was married for the first time and I ended up with two of my children. She was she's from Korea. So I lived in South Korea for 3 years. We got married. Um, we were married for 10 years. Then I got divorced because of something that I did. It was my fault. I take responsibility for it. So we got married again, and I had two more children. These are my older children. And this time I was married for 13 years. Um, there again, I always take responsibility when I do something wrong. This time I didn't, it wasn't my fault again. So we ended up divorced a second time. So, like I said, I didn't like being alone. I decided to get married a third time. But ironically, I was in very good condition. I felt that I could not marry somebody my age because they would not be able to keep up with me. So I foolishly decided to marry somebody younger, not just 2 years younger. The woman I married was 25 years younger than me. What a mistake that was.
Wow.
That marriage only lasted 2 years. And then for the
Oh,
first time, I was by myself. Then I had a chance to think what I was doing with my life. And that's when I ended up marrying my fourth wife, who I'm with
oh
today.
my, yeah. Yeah, you are you have a very impressive personality, and you are exemplary for us because you are taking responsibility that I am responsible for that. Could you please tell me what inspired you to join the U.S. Army in 1979?
Well, I had many jobs. I was a taxi cab driver. I was I worked many different jobs. Um, one day I was walking down the street in New York City, and I saw this gentleman. He had five dogs, and all the dogs were sitting down. They weren't moving. New Yorkers were
Wow.
trying to make them move. The dogs weren't moving. I said,
Oh,
wow, I had never seen that before. And at that time, I was an artist. I drew and painted. I never thought I would do anything but that. But seeing that gentleman work with those dogs inspired me. As I sat there, I said to myself, I was walking, I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I have got to learn how to do that. So I went home and I went to school. Went home and looked up the information in the yellow pages, dog training school. I paid $1,900. I didn't even talk to my parents about it. I just paid $1,900 and went to this dog training school. I got very good. And my instructor hired me. She said, "You can work for me." I said, "Great." I worked for her. That turned into, how am I going to use this skill? There was no place to use the skill on the outside that I could find. The only place I could find was using it in the military. So I went to the military and I asked the guy. He said, "Well, sir, the only thing that we can do is you could become a military policeman, which is a police officer." And I was like, "I'm going to be a cop? Are you kidding?" All right, whatever. I'll do that. Can I work with a dog like that? You might be selected to work with a dog. Notice he said I might. It was not a definite. So I went to basic training and I was selected to be a dog trainer. I was actually selected.
wow, amazing.
And it was amazing. And so I came down on orders to go with my dog to South Korea. I had never been out of the United States before. And next thing you know, I go home and rest up for about 45 days. Then it's time for me to go to South Korea. We went first to like Utah, and then we went to Idaho, then we went to Seattle, Washington, then we flew to Alaska, then we went to Japan, and then we were in Korea. Just like that. I was like, wow, so many different countries, so many different places that I had never been. It was exciting to me. It was like a dream.
Wow, wow, very nice experience you have. Can you share your some memorable experience from your initial service period until 1996?
I, the initial time in the military for me was it taught me how to be accountable. It taught me how to set habits. It taught me how to think, how to be inspired. and how to motivate other people. So the first thing I did was I ended up becoming a military police investigator. That meant that I was a person that took statements from people that were victimized by theft or victimized by being hit. They were victimized. At that time, being so early, we didn't have word processing then. We didn't have the internet then, but we had typewriters. And I had gone to high school and I learned to type about 40 words a minute, but my typing speed improved until I was able to type 70 words a minute. Remarkably, I could type a person speaking to me at the same time. And so I did that, and then they selected me to train women on rape prevention. And I successfully trained in my 20s. I successfully trained 30 or more women at one time by myself
Wow,
on rape
amazing.
prevention. And I was very good. And then after that, they said, well, you need to work with these children. You need to take their fingerprints. In case they're abducted, we will have their fingerprints. So I did that. I was able to do that. I was able to work with children. And then, um, subsequent, I did not want to stay at my current rank. In order to move up to a higher rank, so that I could get paid more money, I would need to be a drill sergeant. Now, being a drill sergeant was different because now I have to get up at 3:30 in the morning to wake up people at 4 o'clock
Wow.
in the morning. And I did that for 3 years, and I was successful. And I eventually got promoted. Then it was time for me to go to Panama because I was in the United States during that time. And then I got selected to go to Panama. That's the country. And I went to Panama for 3 years. And I enjoyed it greatly.
Yeah, you mentioned punctuality is very important for our life success. Um, as you took a break from army, so what motivated you to re-enlist in the army after 9 years break, especially at the age of 47?
Well, even though I had gotten older, I still missed my friendships. I missed the camaraderie. I missed the togetherness. We didn't have that on the outside. When you're working as a regular, what we call civilian on the outside, there's none of that. Nobody cares. So I wanted to be someplace where we could be, people would care about what you did. So I wanted to rejoin.
Yeah, you are right. Uh, when you rejoined your army, what were some challenges you faced when you returned to the army later in your life?
Basically, the only challenge that I had later in my life was the fact that I was older. I was older. So I had to work that much harder for the same results, though I did have them. You know, I was just older.
Um, how has your military career impacted your personal life and relationship? And how did you cope with the challenges in your personal life? And what impact did they have on your mental health as well?
Basically, to sum it up, it enabled me to be fully accountable See, when I got divorced from my third wife, I asked my counselor, I had a counselor, I said, ma'am, what is wrong with me? There's got to be something wrong with me. I'm been married 3 times. I'm divorced. What am I doing wrong? She said to me, she said, Mr. Saunders, you're not doing anything wrong. From what I can see, I've talked to you. From what I can see, you're a good man. You're a caring person. But what I do see is this: you give so much. Let me tell you this. Maybe you don't know this, but givers attract takers. The more you, so people are taking from you, you're giving, but they're not giving back to you. They're taking from you. You have to learn how to give. You still can give, but you need to be aware that they may want to just take from you. So I learned to be accountable, to not have people take from me, and to be impactful.
About your family and how they have supported you throughout your military journey and others.
My mother and my father, when they were alive, they supported me because they saw the change in me. They saw how I grown, how strong I got. My brother and sister likewise supported me because they saw how I grown. My youngest children, I was reading a book at the time. It's called The Compound Effect. It's a book on personal development. And like many parents, or like some parents, they may decide to have their children just read a book. Read this book. It'll help you. That wasn't my approach. That wasn't my approach. My approach was, I'm not just going to give you a book to read. Yes, you're going to read the book, but we're going to talk about each chapter. Furthermore, I'm going to ask you, how would you use the chapter in your life? And for the first time,
Impressive, very
no,
impressive.
nobody was doing that. And it changed
Yeah.
my kids' mindset. They both, my daughter was very quiet. She changed. My son was very quiet. He changed. They both
Wow.
learned how to write very well, how to speak very well, how to read very well, how to think very well. My daughter was able to get a 4-year degree at a major university in pre med because she wanted to be a doctor. My son was able to get 120 pounds of muscle after being fat, and he learned how to write very well, how to speak very well, and he learned how to help a lot of people.
Wow, very, very impressive. You are a good dad too. And can you share what values or lesson from your time in the army you have passed to your children?
Things I passed on to my children, the major thing I passed on to my children is this: be responsible. Take
Be responsible. Wow.
responsible, take responsibility for you.
Yeah.
You know, take responsibility for you. Set goals, dreams, and have aspirations and go for them.
Hmm. How do you spend your time in retirement and what hobbies or interests do you pursue?
How I spend my time in retirement is very interesting because, of course, being retired now, I don't work for anybody. I haven't had a job since 2010. So 14 years of my life, I haven't worked for anybody. Um,
Hmm.
I like to love to read. I love to get on YouTube because I have YouTube Prime. I have
Okay.
YouTube Prime because I don't like commercials. I can watch a whole
Oh,
video on YouTube Prime, no commercials. I can listen to
okay.
music, no commercials. I can get podcasts, no commercials. So that was I like. Plus, I like to do workout. I like to exercise with my body to stay in shape because I taught my son bodybuilding, and I bodybuild myself still to this day in my 60s.
Wow. Can you tell us about your journey of self-employed as an entrepreneur at CBT Twin?
Basically, becoming an entrepreneur was similar to being in the army. First of all, I needed to know what I wanted to do. It's like many people join, they become interested in being entrepreneurs. Then you ask them, why are you being an entrepreneur? They'll say, I don't know. I just thought it would be good to do. That wasn't me. If I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I needed to have a goal. I needed to have a financial goal. Personally, to this day, my
Yeah,
financial goal is to make $1 million.
yeah,
Now, first thing I needed to do was I needed to make some kind of money. Some people want to make $500. That's what they want to make. That's fine. I was able to make $14,000 right off the bat, so I knew it worked. So I understood that I needed to find somebody that was working harder and doing better than me, and I have my mentor that's done that as to who I follow.
okay. So, can you share your other activities that you are doing in your daily routine?
Basically, the only other activities that I do is I work to impact other people, such as this interview. Okay,
Wow.
I basically, like I said, I love to read. I love to listen to video, watch video. I love to work out. I go outside in the sunshine, whatever the case be. I enjoy my life because I don't have to answer to anybody.
Yeah. Do you tell me how do you know about Mr. Rehan, and do you know have any idea of Mr. Rehan's school and his goal?
Yes, I know his goals. I know I know him because a young lady that's in my business, not into my business. She's in my business on the side, so to speak. In other words, she has a business that she's working toward with animals. It's called Buddy's Place. Her name is Lisa Marie Gregory. Lisa Marie, rather.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Lisa Marie is a person that introduced me that thought it would be good if I was interviewed by other people. She asked me if I would be interested in doing that. I said, sure, I would be interested in doing that. And then I looked at why would I want to do that? Well, first of all, I realized that many of the interviewees want to earn $500 a month. I said, fine. $500 a month is doable. $500 a month is very doable. I make $10,000 a month, so I know $500 a month is definitely doable.
Yeah. In the last, just I want to take advice from you for my audience. What would you give to my audience?
Very simple. Most advice I would give to your audience is mi- minimize Many people, you need to maximize the success of others while you minimize your excuses.
Yeah, you are right. Today I have learned from you that you are very committed, mashallah, and you are a very motivated personality, and you are taking responsibilities of your own, and even you are giving these all the um, habits in your children too, and this is very inspiring for me. Thank you so much, James. I really appreciate your dedication and what you are doing, and I really thankful to you for coming to my show. And I have now I have to go and take another interview. So I really appreciate that you have given me your precious time. Thank you so much, James. It was a very nice session with you.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it. It was my honor. You have a good day.
Thank you. Good day.